Hey peeps. Uh, I know this is definitely not my time of day to come on here. Uh, but, oh well. So far, I'm here at the house by myself, so I may not have any eruptions. I don't know. Who knows? Um, and maybe I can not cough long enough to do this video. Um, I was sitting here. Uh, I don't know if y'all watched my video from last night, but I've been pretty yucky depressed lately. I think it's worse this year than it ever has been. I just things that used to excite me, or give you that like, oh boy, yay, Well, I don't can't think of anything that does that anymore. Um, I'm just yuck. So I was sitting here looking at you know uh, what I still have left to pay on certain things, and I finally just put my pen down, and I was like, why am I bothering with pen and paper, because it doesn't really matter, and I can't do it, and blah 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 blah, just all these really um, bad emotions and doubt and negativity and all this started coming in. So what I realized at this given point in this space and time that I'm in, it is a cesspool. uh, the aftermath of everything that's happened over the last, well, you might as well say 2 years. And it's just kind of like everything's just going into a huge waste barrel, including me. Or that's how I feel anyway. Um, and it doesn't help the fact that, I've been pretty sick here lately. There's just so much going on in my mind and in my heart, um, that I honestly just simply do not know which way to go. And I mean, at times like this, back in my younger day, I wouldn't even I wouldn't even care. It would not bother me. Um, I'd go find me a bar stool to sit on and uh, drink, and I'd go there every day until I came up with a game plan. And that's what I did. I would go in there, and I would pretend like nothing was wrong and going on in my life, and I was around a lot of other people that were doing the same thing, I'm sure. But I do know that's not the way to do it. Um, Sometimes things just can't be figured out. Uh, Sometimes you just do all you can do, and then you sit back and you just watch shit either come together or fall apart. You either go, "Yay, I did a good job," or you go, "Damn, that didn't work." But and this time of year, and most of my followers that actually know me um, know that this is a really bad time of year for me anyway. Um, I'm very sensitive and vulnerable to outer influences, and I don't mean human beings. Um, and it doesn't seem to matter how much protection I put up around me, what I'm doing. They still find me. um, but a good thing, as I said, I was sitting here a little bit ago, trying to figure out what I might be able to pay, and um, I kind of, had my head down like this, looking at stuff and thinking, and someone came up to my right shoulder and just put their hand on it. Plain as day. Plain as day. I felt it. Wasn't a very large hand. Um, so it must have been female. Um, and I'm thinking it was either my grandmother or Hecate. Um, I've been talking to her a lot. Um, I feel really strange without having, my altar set up and all that good stuff. But, um, I just want to remind y'all that we are very close. The veil is thinning, and you may experience stuff like this. Um, I'm trying to get together a ritual that I can do, and evidently it's going to be really nice here anyway on Halloween. So, I mean, I'm talking like 78 degrees outside. They say now, that can change in the blink of a bat's eye. But hey, Carla, how did that happen? Oh, somebody felt like somebody touched you. Yeah, it was just as real. I mean, I have felt before, somebody like do like this, but this was the whole hand, and it just laid right, like on the back of my shoulder blade right here. Like everything's gonna be okay. I don't know, woman. I'm at my wit's end. I try to always believe that, you know, this is when we learn our stuff. That's what I said. I said, well, hello. um, a lot of times I'll feel something touch me, and it's one of my cats that have gotten in behind me, and they reach up and pet me. So that's honestly what I thought it was Lexi. She's the main one that does that. But she wasn't nowhere around, and it was definitely a human handprint because I felt the entire hand. But that's what this time of year is about. The veil's thinning. Um, People are starting to sense and feel more things than they would any other time of year. And especially, the witches or anyone that is a sensitive, as I like to call them. I just say a sensitive because that includes the clairaudience, the seeing, smelling, feeling, blah, blah, blah. All the audiences that I can't ever seem to remember. Impasse, yeah. Um, yeah. Usually I have a game plan, I really do. But I'm tired of game plans. I'm tired of planning things and trying to do the right things, and you know, it's pretty much thrown right back in my face like it wasn't ever a good idea at all. um, I don't know. I just, I don't, I feel empty. Does that make sense? Um, and I don't know if that means that there's something coming, if I'm being prepped, um, or if I finally just lost the damn battle. I don't know. But it's just that something feels really different. And like I said, I know it has a lot to do with where I'm at right now. This, as fortunate and thankful as I am to have a roof over my head, this is probably one of the most depressing places I've ever lived in my life. It just is. And it does not help my well being in any shape, form, or fashion. Um, it just doesn't. I'm not going to go into all the details, but there's just so many reasons that it does nothing for me to be here. I hope so, Carla. I mean, I even got upset with Hecate. You know, it's like you're supposed to be watching over me. You know, how could you let this happen to me? But things happen to all of us, and this is really nothing that can't be fixed. It's just in my head. It's in my head. And I love coming on here and talking to y'all. And I mean, honestly, if I didn't have that to do, I don't know, that kind of realism in my life. I just really don't know where I'd be. I try not to watch a whole lot of the other witches because here lately they've been pissing me off. Um, because I'm dead set ringer that most of them are not witches and should be hung for saying they are when they're not. Um, I'm just at that very snippy crone stage, I guess you could say. Um, I always wondered how come, when we're young, even as young children, before whether we're a witch or not, you see the stories about the wicked witches, and all the children's stories, and it really makes you wonder. And I've often wondered what made them that way. Why they became so hateful and I see why they would have. Um, and then poof, out of nowhere, these fairy tales or movies have come out that are about fairy tales and answer those questions. They weave their own storyline into why that person was that way, like Maleficent. you know. Um, she was a happy-go-lucky child at one time herself until someone hurt her and hurt her really bad, and she became extremely devious, you know, and definitely one to be reckoned with. Till that one little girl got a hold of her heart, you know. And there's the ones up now about Hansel and Gretel, and they're they're humifying the witches of the old children's stories, and I think that's really neat because I thought that way the whole time I was young reading them. Like, well, what did they do to her? She wouldn't be hateful if they hadn't did this or that, you know. Sure enough, I'm grown, and now Disney's making major millions of dollars on this stuff. But that's kind of how I feel right now, you know. And I'm not saying that I deserve the world by no means, but I deserve a damn good break. You know, I deserve a shot because I've worked my ass off. I put my heart and soul into things, and I've always did it being a good person and tried not to be selfish. And I'm just sick of it, you know. Um, after I had my heart attack, I was like, okay, you know, maybe this is a turning point. Things are, you know, I've got to do this, and I've got to pay attention of more to what matters to me. I'm finally going to be what everybody's called me my entire life, selfish. Well, I come to find out I don't even know how to do that. Um, I just don't even really know how to do that. But maybe I'm doing too much shadow work at once, you know, or maybe too close, looking too closely, and I don't know. I know I'm sick of it all, Carla. I really am. Um, Even my career, you know, I'm so sick of it. I can't even tell you what it makes me feel like to look at a sick person now. I don't feel empathetic anymore. I don't feel sorry for them. You know, what I actually do is just to say, great, you know, another one. And that's horrible for a nurse to say. I haven't mastered shadow work yet. Oh, Carla, it's not, I don't think that that's something that is ever actually per se mastered. Um, uh, I have a lot of people asking me all the time, what is shadow work? And my quickest response is you just sit and drag yourself through a mud hole and then pick yourself up and clean yourself back off. That's pretty much what it is. And how far you down you want to go is up to you. Um, Normally, in the beginning, when one starts doing shadow work, they're going way back to whatever they feel was the starting point of their decline. And I don't mean decline as in mental decline or physical decline, their spiritual decline to where something affected them, and whether they knew it or not was going to stick with them for the rest of their life unless they dealt with it. Most people don't know that, so therefore they just, It's like bumping your toe. Ow, that hurt, and go on. But um, you go back to the point that you can remember, and you clean that slate. You know, I mean, depending on how good you are and how I don't know, I wouldn't say strong. I guess strong could be a little bit of it. Um, you can get a lot done, but during shadow work, which one thing you're going to have to understand is you pick things apart. You pick stuff apart, um, like per se, I don't know, say per se if you were molested when you were a child, which that tends to be right there one of the most common things in shadow work that have to be dealt with, male or female. Just a sec. Hello. Oh Lord. Oh. Huh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, damn. They couldn't get you in a little bit earlier. What is it? What is the second one for? Yeah. And then you got to stay there till the doctor comes in and looks at it. That don't make any sense. It's crazy. She she should be right there at the same time they're doing the X-rays. Good God! All right, all right. Be careful. Bye bye. Sorry, had uh, my friends up at the VA, and oh, that's another long, drawn out freaking mess. Is the VA. But anyway, yeah, you have to go in there, and you have to sit and figure out what's bothering you, what from your past is bothering you. And as I always say, once you go back the first time and you deal with as much as you can, uh, you get all that out of the way, then your shadow work just becomes recent. Does that make sense? You don't have to go all the way back till the time you could remember when you started walking. And when I say go all the way back, that's what I mean. You go back as far back as you can remember. If anything hurt you, whoever hurt you, whatever the deal was, whoever made that impact, that stamp on your life that has remained there, then you deal with it. Um, you deal with it and you let it go. Um, then you move forward to the next thing. Now, some people don't have that many stops on their shadow path. That's what I call it. um, and as children, a lot of us don't remember. Um, Sometimes if things get triggered, that's the best time to catch them right then and there. Don't stop, and go on about your day, or deal with that at that moment. Get that out of the way, and so you don't forget it. Because just because you forget it doesn't mean that you dealt with it. Um, and anyway, you'll move up. You'll move up into where you're almost in the same day and age you are now. You could move all the way up to the time you got married. Um, whatever has ever happened between you and your spouse or your children. Um, I had to do shadow work on my son, um, because I have nonstop blamed myself for his addiction, um, for all his bullshitteries, you know, and they weren't my fault. Um, they just weren't my fault. He has a mind. He could have said yes or no. He could have stayed away from it. Um, I'm not taking any more responsibility for the way um, he's turned out. I'm not blaming it no longer on myself. Um, maybe at first, and then when I tried to make it up to him and help him, and he just completely went shit wild crazy. So that was on his terms, not mine. But shadow work can people think it's hard, and it is hard. It's hard if you do it right. But I guarantee you, after you come out of your shadow work, you would be surprised how lighter you feel, how lighter your soul feels, your very core. Um, it's like, I'm not carrying all that damn baggage around with me, and it's not suffocating me, So letting things go, and I'm talking about letting things go. Sometimes we don't want to. Um, I have a memory that I've been having for so long now that honestly, I don't know if it ever actually happened. But it has been in my head my entire life. I honestly, I could not tell you if it truly happened. um, but I've known it for so long and remembered it for so long that I don't want it to go away. It's a good memory. And of course, me being a witch, it could very easily have came from another lifetime that I somehow have gotten to carry over into this one with me. And there's no people in it. It's what's weird. It's just a feeling, a split second sight of certain things, and then it's all gone. You know. But yes, your shadow work in the long run. If you do it right, it's going to take some work, and you're going to feel exhausted, maybe upset, because in a lot of ways you have to relive those memories. To find them, you have to let them find you. Now, I'm not saying, all shadow work memories are just absolutely terrifyingly horrible. Not at all. Um, some some may be per se you getting your divorce. Um, and you can remember at one time you really, really loved that person. Um, and what we tend to keep doing, believe it or not, is we still love that person, don't we? Um, it seems like once you get a hold of that type of love, and it's a very unselfish love, then you don't just get rid of it. It's not like, okay, our divorce is final today. I don't love you anymore. Well, that's just not the way it happens. Unless you never loved them in the first place, or things had been building up to the point to where the love was being stretched very thin and eventually broke. And there was no more by the time the end came. Um, my first one was like that. My second one was on the wire, I'm telling you, just barely. But I don't know. This time of year, as you witches know, it's that time. It's time to go into our dark side. Um, and unfortunately, I'm one of those witches that I don't have to tell myself to do it. My body knows to do it. This is why I do this every stinking year. And it's really hard when you're in the mundane life, and especially in the work I do. Um, I just can't even begin to explain how ex- all of October and most of November, I just do not want to go to work. I just don't want to work during those months. Because number one of what's going on inside of my being, um, I cannot be a productive nurse, a good nurse, um, that is able to listen to my residents or patients. Um, if my head's so clouded with all this other crap, right? And death just, I see it so much. I think, you know, um, I just see it so much that maybe that's another thing and reason that I need to find a new profession. um, I'm just sick of seeing people sick and dying. Um, even the individual that I'm staying with at the time, right now, you know, I love him to death. He's just like my dad. You know, he would do anything in the world for me. Um, but we just bump heads all the time, and he's sick all the time, or something's hurting all the time, or they're up doing another start. He's the perfect VA candidate. I'm sorry, they're always doing something on him, and I think a lot of it's unnecessary. Um, but they know they're going to get paid for it, so they do it. You know, that's just the way I think. I think this time of year can be rough on all nurses, especially nurses that, yeah, that's what I was saying, Carla. Because I have not only my emotional breakdown that I have every year going on, but then I have to try to put on a smiley, happy face for this person over here that's literally laying on their deathbed, and try to be kind and helpful to their families. And a part of me just wants to stand in the middle of the room and scream, "She's going away. She will be fine. Hurry up and come get her." You know, I just, uh, and it's like I'm gonna write. I swear, I just thought of a freaking poem to write. I'm not even gonna say the title of it, but I'm gonna write, and I guarantee you this poem will hit home to most everyone. You sound like me, Carly. You're so sweet. You really are. You're a sweet lady, and I come on here and I'm so depressing. But hey, like I told y'all, whatever mood I'm coming on, whatever I look like on that day, I am completely transparent. There's nothing fake about me, you know. I am what I am. And I sure appreciate the ones of you that love me just for being me. Oh, I love y'all too, Carla. I don't know what I'd do without my witches. My sisters. I was even me and Lady Blind Wolf were talking last night, and I was even looking. I have my little cauldron in here with a few of my things in it, and I was like, man, I can't even set up my altar. Usually, when I feel like this, I will literally just go and put my head down on my altar, and that's where I stay for however long I want to. And I just can't do that right now. And I'm not used to not having my tools at my disposal. Um, it's quite aggravating, actually. And of course, I'm not near used to being on here at 12:20 in the afternoon. But yeah, I was gonna try to do, since it's gonna be so nice, I was gonna try to find some firewood around here and um, do me a quick, well, not necessarily quick, but a ritual for Halloween. Um, and normally I do things for other people um, as a whole. I may pick a foundation to work with, you know. Yeah, that's about what I've got. I think I can't find Hecate's statue. It's got to be out there somewhere. I'm sure I packed it. I would not have left her behind. And I'm telling you, that move was so quick and unexpected that I just, everything was just very unorganized. It was an unorganized move, um, everything. So, if I get rid of this damn cough, it would make my life a lot easier. Make me some mugwort tea. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I try to keep believing that, change is good. Change is good. I've always preached that. I've always told y'all that. Sometimes change isn't all that great, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't know, guys. And I don't think sitting in this house day in and day out, now that I'm not working again, which I'm definitely going to go forward with, see what I can do about that business. Well, I'll tell you, I went to pay my rent on June 2nd. And my landlord told me right then that I needed they were selling the house and that I needed to be out by the end of the month. So I got 27, 28 days notice. No, it wasn't even on the 2nd. I went to pay it on the 6th because I had a month to pay it. So I was paying it on the 6th. So I had 24 days. And that's organized. Everybody, the closest people I had that would help me were 3.5, 4 hours away. Getting up money for U-Hauls and having to pay people to come that far and then all the way back again just to help me move. It was quite a pain in the ass, actually. And she's talking about telling me that I could buy it if I wanted to buy it. I was like, no, I don't want to buy it. If I would have had the money to put in it, if it had been on a little bit bigger lot to where I could expand certain rooms. I mean, it was 3 bedroom. Um, it was actually a pretty neat little house, you know. I just didn't have the money to mess with it. But now I'm stuck down here in this town again, in this house again, and I really feel like I'm in reverse. And I know that's what's depressed me most of all, right there. And now and losing my job, which that shit right there just really wasn't fair. It really wasn't fair. And I could be pissy. I could put a warp around that whole entire building where, make sure that they don't get any more people in there. I could do all kinds of hateful, evil things to her. Yeah, I can't either. After all the years of knowing me, I think that's what hurt me the worst. I mean, y'all hear me now just when I'm doing this. I've still, every once in a while, will just start coughing uncontrollably. And it was 100 times worse 2 weeks ago when it started. A lot of it probably had to do with her keeping them damn air conditioners on 70 when it's 48 degrees outside. But you know what? We say karma and we say what comes around goes around. I don't know that I necessarily believe in any of that. Um, but I do know that sometimes you just mess with the wrong people and somehow or another they get your ass. You know what I mean? You'll eventually find out who your true friends are. Yeah. Well, Carla, I am now 54 years old. And right off the top of my head, I can think of 2, possibly 3. I'd have to weigh in on that third one and think about it. Um, and I'm not talking about virtual friends because honestly, I mean, think about it. We really don't know each other. We talk to each other online. That's it. Um, so the only thing I'm including in that statement is people that actually know me in real life, that hang out with me, that have either been good to me or not been good to me. You know, And I think unknowingly myself here, I think I'm evaluating. What do you think, Carla? Just like I said the other day, as for the elder witches, when you hit the crone stage, that you start doing all this evaluation, and I guarantee you, I know it's why. I can guarantee it. I can promise it. I for sure know why. That's why a lot of witches are solitaire. They stay and keep to themselves because they don't need them. They know by this age, they know that most of the time, friends, it's just another word for, enemy. I don't know. I know that, most of the time in my life, now I honestly can't say that I've never purposely, intentionally set out to hurt someone because I have. See, Carla, that's where I'm getting. I truly am, girl. Um, and even us as witches, we are wired, we are hardwired to help. You know, it's in our nature, it's in our very core, it's the very fibers we are made of, you know. And when a witch looks at you and says, I'm not going to do a damn thing for you, wonder why that is. Because she sees right through you, or because she's just sick and damn tired of the whole kit and caboodle and, you know, leapfrog show. Or maybe she's just fucking cranky that day and don't want to mess with your shit. It's like, can you not understand that I woke up this morning and I'm in the crone phase? It means I don't like you today. Oh my. It's funny. But something's got to give somewhere. You know what I mean? I've earned my right to be happy. I have earned my right to feel secure, and I don't know. I just fucking don't care anymore. It's like I was saying last night. Um, I was talking to Lady Blind Wolf, and I was like looking around, and I have my room. There's nothing in my room. I have a chest of drawers, and two nightstands and my bed. My curtains aren't even hung up uh, on the windows right. They're just kind of thrown up there. So you can tell the attitude that I had when I got here. Because I was like, I don't want to fucking be here. You know, I just don't want to be here. I knew I wouldn't want to be here when I got here. But, it doesn't do any good sitting and griping about it all the time. You are where you are, and you'll be here till you're not. So instead of sitting around, me being all pissy about stuff, do something about it. I mean, you'll just go find me a man, huh? Wouldn't it be cool if I could find a man that has a decent home, has a decent life, has a decent attitude? Yeah. I mean, guys, I can't even cook right now. Can't even go in the kitchen and make a dinner. Believe it or not. And that soothes me. I love cooking. No place to make my candles if I wanted to. I'm just nothing. There's nothing to do but sit here and stare at these nasty ass walls. Would you be interested in moving back to Oklahoma? I never left Oklahoma, Carla. I've always been in Oklahoma. I just moved to a different town in Oklahoma. Where do you think I lived? I'm from Texas, but might as well quit saying that because I've lived in Oklahoma longer than I ever lived in Texas now. I don't care. I'll always be a Texas girl. No, I'm still in Oklahoma. We may get some pretty crappy weather through here tonight and tomorrow. Late tonight, tornadoes again. What am I going to do, you guys? I just feel like I'm stuck. And it not only stuck, but stuck in quicksand. I really do. That's how I feel. You have a flood warning? Yeah. Well, ours is possible tornadoes. So I think just being around happy people might help me. Where the hell am I going to find that? Like I said, you could always walk in the bar. They all act happy there anyway, whether they are or not. Then I can come on here tomorrow and be sick as hell, hungover. God, y'all, what do I have to do? Look what I go through to just be around happy people. Yeah, I don't think that's the answer for me either. And of course, my kid, he's up here in this jail now. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I'm tired of worrying about that. You're going to straighten your crown, call on your goddess. She'll guide you in the right direction. Oh, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I know that this was the right direction I've come. I'm just in like on a. It's just not working out the way I expected it to. And I can't say that a lot of things that happen aren't my own fault because they are. But something like this last time, like with this job, she will, hasn't she always? Oh, I know she will. Maybe that's what she's doing now. Like I told her, you're driving me crazy. I don't know what you're doing and what I'm supposed to be doing. I have to just trust her. I don't know, but I don't know. There's just so much going on in my head right now. And honestly, I try so very, very hard to be thankful, because there's people out there living on the street, and I'm sorry, but it's probably their own fault. just the way it is. And that's how I am nowadays. I'm just very straight up. Yeah, some of them, it's not their fault, but it's also their fault that they don't get back up. Just like me right now, I'm sitting here whining, and that's okay. I'm getting it off my chest. I'm having a pity party, and I'm not sure which way to turn. I'm more confused than feeling sorry for myself, you know. Um, but I'm a firm believer that everybody can get up off their asses and get stuff done. Um, Speaking of that, I said people that are homeless. Now I understand, there are extenuating circumstances, but not very many. Um, especially in major catastrophes, but I'm talking about these people that do this day in, day out, and have for years and years and years because that's just where they want to be. They'd rather sit there, with a needle in their arm on the side of the street, not care about anything else, or a bottle of booze. So those are not the people I'm including in this. Oh, Carla, that's so sweet of you. I come on here usually and I vent or, whatever, and I hate to just keep dragging it out. But this guy, and he was right here. We have the South Canadian River that runs through here. And down here underneath the bridge, we noticed that there was a car down there. Well, it had been down that's no big thing. A lot of people, especially during the summertime, go down there and camp and uh, what have you, if there's not any water, on the river. So he we walked up there and started talking to him, and he's like, "Y'all got a beer?" We're like, "Sure." That's what friends are for, sweet lady. Thank you, Carla. I love you, dear. And he asked us for a beer, so we gave him a beer, and noticed that there was a very very young child in the back of the camper, and this girl, she looked pretty young herself. Not a thing to eat in that camper, nothing. You know, they were pretty much living down there on that river. No food. I guess I'm gonna go. I just thought I'd come on here and say hi. I'm sorry about all the complaining. Um, I'll try to think of a better one to do, and it'll help me too, I'm sure. But if I come up with a Halloween, I'll have actual something to do that may be a little bit original. Yeah, mine was too, Carla. I don't know if it was yours or mine. But if I find anything interesting to do, or I may bring y'all out there, I know I want to try to find some kind of firewood and light my cauldron up. I haven't lit it up, I think, since last spring. I don't even remember. So, um, anyway, I love you guys, and I thank you so much for being on my side and on Team Hecate. Uh, I may come back on here later. I don't know. My world's pretty boring here lately, so we'll see. Chin up. Bye, sweet lady. Ta ta.